Well, good evening. This is Jojopah Maria and Saroma, host of Wisdom Walk Talk, and coming to you with another episode of When God Takes Over Your Life. Very shortly, I'm going to be joined by Ms. Carmen Ray. And today has definitely been like one of those days where I just felt, do I really have to get out of bed? Can't I just stay with the covers over my head? Yeah, it's been like that. I think it's been one of those days for Carmen too, so she's a little behind, but she'll be here. So I just want to say hi to all of you who may be able to watch this live, but it definitely will be available to you both on my YouTube channel, Wisdom Walk to Self Mastery, and my Facebook page, Wisdom Walk. It's called Wisdom Walk Radio or Wisdom Walk Supporters. I think I did it to the group. Just want you to know that this is a new technology that I am trying out. It's called StreamYard, and it's a way to be able to have two people or more. You can do up to 10 people conversating, and it will simultaneously broadcast it live to both YouTube and Facebook. And I think a couple of other platforms that are available. So bear with me because I've not used this before, and I'll see. It's a test in a way to see how it can happen. So I don't even know how the comments work. I don't know. So anyway, if you're out there and you're posting and I'm not responding, please forgive me. It's just that, like I said, I'm not even sure how to do that, how to show them or whatever is going on. So anyway, we'll see what happens. The other thing I want to say is give you a little bit again about what this offering is about when God takes over your life. It is definitely a response to the COVID virus coming into our lives, into the world. And it is a way to understand it and perceive it from a spiritual perspective. And by spiritual, I don't mean religious. I really mean that spirituality is, number one, it's a part of who we are. We definitely have a physical experience of life. We have an intellectual experience of life. But we also have this spiritual experience, and that is the non-physical experience of life. And that experience is rooted in the fact that we come from something that is non-physical. And so that something that is non-physical is what I call the mystery of God, or I'll say a greater order and direction. And so to me, I define spirituality as what is it that I experience in life that has a deeper meaning to me than just the physical, than just the material. And so when I look at something from a spiritual perspective, that's what I'm talking about, going in a little deeper, a lot deeper at times than just what I can experience in the physical, when I can see, smell, taste, touch, hear. So, the COVID virus shows up as a pandemic, as a global situation. And it quickly became a political issue rather than staying what I believe it is, which is a public health emergency. And so that's why I decided to bring the spiritual perspective, because this is not about politics. This is not about choosing a side. This is about people's lives and how do we, as a global community, work together, bring our brilliance and our genius to help people survive through this experience of COVID. So, having said all that, I see that Carmen is in the studio room, so I'm going to bring her in. Hey, sister.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly.
Wow.
I told them this is an experiment. I don't even know how to look at the comments if they come, if they show up. I don't know what, but right now so far the connection is good. It does say it does have a section where it says I can click and watch it on Facebook, but I'm scared to push any buttons because I don't want to lose our connection.
Yes, Jojopah, we better leave well enough alone.
I will leave well enough alone. And I hope that this is recording because I paid my money down to make sure that this could be recorded, but I haven't seen anything that I need to push that says record. So it's all interesting. But I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting the process. Right. We learn it as we go.
That's
so, girl, I started off by saying too that I woke up this morning. It's been for the last couple of days wondering, should I really get out of bed? Can't I just stay here with the covers over my head? And just go into prayer. Like, God, help me. Because right now I am so tired. I am so, and there's like a weariness. And then it's a feeling of being overwhelmed, and it's this energetic of, it's the energy of change. I mean, That's what I think. How about you? What's going on, girl?
Yeah. I think you are so on point. It is the energy of change, but it's also the energy of loss. Like,
yes,
we need to grieve.
Talk it, sister. Talk it.
It's life as we knew it has changed drastically, significantly. The things that we just took for granted, the way we moved around and, just had so many freedoms, and just all of our skepticism on even touching people, just that human contact, all of that is really important.
Yeah. And I think on top of that, too, kind of that I call it the forced adaptation in order to be able to survive the disease. It's a forced adaptation. I think we now have entered into a intentional adaptation. But there is also this mourning of people who have died. Even if you don't know them, it's affecting, because it could be you. Or it could be somebody you love very, very much, because that's what's happening. It's people are losing people that they love, people that they know. And just because it hasn't touched your family yet doesn't mean it can't. And I think that too is another part of this energy of fear. Yeah. No, it's tight. It's tight.
Yes, it is. I mean, I have people in my life, family and friends, that's saying clearly that they don't know what it is. They don't have the language necessarily, but they just been using words like, I just been off. I just been feeling off center. And that's when it's really something energetically that's happening. But it gives us an opportunity like never before, Jojopah, to really make a choice. I believe for myself, at least, I have kind of been on autopilot with my life in so many areas. And this pandemic has really created an opportunity for those of us that's just moving too fast to just sit our hips down somewhere and get still. So like, I'll show you an example. Like, I didn't realize how dehydrated I have been because I looked up something and it said, you should be having half the ounces of your body weight. And so now, because I'm at home, I literally have to label my bottles, like get three bottles. Before I was just kind of roaming around like, oh, I drink water, but you only had like 2 cups of water the whole day. Yes.
Cheers, girl. I keep it handy. I have a half a gallon container that I fill up in the morning, and my job is to get through that sucker during the day. Yeah, you have to.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to stay mindful. It really is. It is that.
Mhm.
And I think that's one of the features. If I have to describe, what does it mean when God takes over your life? I think an important characteristic is that you have to be more conscious.
Mhm.
It's like you can't sleepwalk. Like I couldn't stay in bed with the covers over my head.
Yeah,
Like,
right. As tempting as it was.
as tempting as it was, it's like, no, you have work to do, you have purpose, and you have to take care of yourself so that you can be on purpose. Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So when God takes over your life, for anybody that's out there that's listening to us, I want us to really think about. I thought about our title for tonight,
Yeah.
and I just got to share how my experience has been. The
Yes.
times when God has taken over my life and how it relates to this pandemic, for me, is times where I couldn't figure it out myself. The times, and we all have this, it could be a medical condition, it could be a financial situation,
Situation.
it could be a loss of a loved one, it could be any of those things that we just surrender and we just know all we can do is the best that we can do. And it becomes, as you always taught me, Jojopah, it becomes more than an intellectual exercise.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
get it
yeah.
down in our core to where we know, look, it is what it is. I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to do the best I can with this minute right here. I'm
Hmm.
just going to try to breathe, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I think that what's happening now, and when God, kind of, we know that this is not our show and he takes over our life, I really think it creates the capacity for amazing breakthroughs, amazing
Yes.
blessings,
Yes.
because
Yes.
every time I've had a major shift for the greater good in my life, it has come not as a result of any effort of my own. It has always been a result of
Yes.
me just being at my wit's end and just surrendering and getting still, not so that I can keep begging God, but so I can sit still and listen to see what it is that he really has. Because I will
And
beg him, right?
And girl, you're talking about that stepping into the not knowing, because that's what it means when God takes over your life. It is humbling. And
Very.
it is about humbling yourself to a greater order and direction. It's understanding that as much as human beings have figured out and what they understand about how the universe works, you did not create that sun.
Yes.
And you can't even figure it out. I mean, you talk to astrophysicists and folks that study this stuff, they'd be like, yeah, no, we don't know. We don't know. It's
Yeah.
theory. We think the Big Bang happened and gravity showed up, but they really don't know. And so the existence of these things and that sun that takes care of us, that nourishes us, I don't think people really realize why people worship the sun, because they knew without it, they couldn't be here, right?
Yes.
So if a greater
Yes.
order and direction, a God, can create this incredible star that nourishes us, that grows things, that grows us even, brings us health and vitality. It's
Yes.
like, oh my God, what why would you think you would need to figure anything out? And
Yes.
that's the humbling to it. And it is, to our betterment, as you said so eloquently, it is to our betterment that we take heed and step back and open up to that learning. And I
Mhm.
just want to say hello to Janelle, a Compassionate Heart Schools reached out and said, hey.
Hey, Janelle. Thank you for joining us. Yes. Hey, Miss Gigi, I see you out there. Gregory, thank you for joining. We're just having a
Yes.
really, really simple conversation, everybody. This is my dear friend, Jojopah. She is just a true divine connection in my life. And guys, we just decided to have a conversation about the elephant in the room, and that's the coronavirus and how it's impacting our life. And we're connecting that with when God takes over your life. And I think we're all living in the midst of that now, because there's so many things that we don't have control over. But this is certainly an opportunity for us to really get grounded and know that this is not anything that we can control. It's up to us to be responsible and really take this
Yes.
time to get grounded and figure out how to keep first things first. This is just an opportunity for us to redefine our lives. That's the way I've decided to,
Yes.
to,
Yes.
to respond to it.
Yes. And let me tell you all about Miss Carmen Ray. If you don't know her, you need to know her. Carmen is one of the most courageous people, one of the most courageous women that I have ever met. She has come through incredible challenges in her life only to grow more loving, more compassionate, more committed to helping women become entrepreneurs. And I think, especially here in the 21st century, Carmen, your work is essential, because one of the things that COVID has brought is I call it God's cosmic flashlight and cosmic broom to illuminate,
Yeah.
the old operating system of our economy and how it isn't working. It hadn't been working for a while, but it really ain't working now,
That's right.
because we can see just from what is happening in the kind of decision making around this global health emergency and crisis that we live in a system that puts profit over people.
Yeah.
We actually believe that currency and promissory notes, because that's what dollar bills and any other kind of bill is. It's a promissory note. It's a promise to pay. It's not even the real money, right? It's a
Wow.
promise to pay. And we have made that more important than human life.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
made that more important than human life. And so instead of the money serving us, we're serving the money.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We are serving the money. And so the entrepreneurial piece that you take on, which I love, and is so brilliant, which is why, you have me for the rest of my life to support your work, is because you got it. And you're like, you help people learn. Don't do this for the money.
Right. Right.
Do it to grow yourself,
Yes.
to expand your understanding of your purpose in your life and who you are,
Mhm,
to be
mhm.
able to become a better human being. The money
Yes.
will follow if it's in alignment with the truth of who you are. And that's your message. And that's how you work with people. And that's it. That's the truth. Yeah.
Oh wow, Jojo
Yeah.
Pie. I cannot thank you for articulating um just so clearly. That's really what it's about. And so many times on our entrepreneurial endeavors, people get misunderstood and they think that it's all about the money, but
Exactly.
it's truly purpose driven. And some of the most struggling, unstable people out there is entrepreneurs.
Right.
So it's ironic that a lot of times people who do not choose entrepreneurship as part of their journey, they sometimes misunderstand entrepreneurship because it usually comes out of a place of wanting to have access to financial freedom, because we know in order to
Yes.
have
Yes.
financial freedom, it can't
Mhm.
be just for you and your needs, but for us to build a better community, it takes money to do those things. But
Right.
your key word is alignment. So if we're doing even entrepreneurship and it's out of alignment, that you still are going to struggle and suffer. It's not going to, you have to just really, I think about Tyler Perry's story. I watch his work a lot.
Yes.
He keeps me so inspired, and people like him because he was one of those people that had no give up in him. Like he had no give up.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have been so, it's obvious he's highly intelligent. It would have been so easy for him to go punch somebody's clock, right?
Exactly.
Even probably younger than he could understand, God took over his life.
Took over.
Because of him not giving up, look at his ability to build capacity for other people to have some of the desires of their heart. You know, at this point in my life, I cannot tell you how easy it would be for me to totally give up, because I could definitely take care of my little needs and my little situation, because there's nobody but me. My children are grown now, but because there's a higher calling, you know, on my life and my desire to just see people be well in all areas of their lives. So I am able to surrender to that calling. And Jojopah, you know, I want you to talk a little bit about when God takes over your life and when I first met you. Jojopah, I just need to share this with you guys. Listen, when I met Jojopah, y'all think I'm on some crazy entrepreneurial stuff now. I was deep in it then. I have multiple contracts working for domestic violence agencies, doing contract work with Department of Corrections. I was multitasking like crazy, getting ready for the crash and burn. But I meet this amazing woman that's a shamanic healer. I didn't even know what that was. I had to look it up. Like,
what is that?
What is that? And all I know is that from the moment I met her, she had this saying that was like, certain people you meet will have medicine for you. You remember you told me that?
Oh, yeah.
And how can you tell if a person has medicine for you? Judy, Alfonso, I see you guys out there. Thank you for joining. This is how you can tell if a person that you meet and you encounter, if they have medicine for you, is every time you walk away from that person, you feel stretched, you feel better, you feel like it's very few conversations, even after all these years, that I don't walk away from a conversation with this powerful woman that has so much spiritual medicine for us that I don't feel a higher version of myself. So I have just decided that the way God has taken over my life, that I have to have some of that kind of energy with me, people that stretch me. And Jojopah, when we first met, you introduced me to so many concepts. I can't even start to explain to people everything about the vibrations, just the vibration and being attentive to the energy. So talk a little bit about how we met and the amazing work we did together at the Alma Center.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
To have had that opportunity to take this ancient wisdom from Africa that I was privileged to get access to by Malidoma and Sobonfu Some, you know, just the story of how I got connected to them is just miraculous. But to be able to take what I learned, this ancient wisdom, this ancient medicine wheel, and to apply it to men who had been cycling through prison, men who were so traumatized in their childhood, it's a wonder they even survived into adulthood. And to actually get to see them embracing the fact that they could transform their lives by transforming their pain. And it was in doing that work that I realized, because, you know, I'm a systems thinker, right? I always think systemically. So I'm like, okay, if I don't help the staff learn what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, because it was so innovative, right? No, who does this, right?
Exactly.
Who does this? Yes. And so I knew that I had to work with the staff to help them get oriented to this different culture. It was a different culture I was introducing to the Alma Center. And thank God for Terry Stradoff's wisdom and leadership that she supported that And we had that wonderful, wonderful opportunity, right, to come together at a retreat center, the bridge between, and to really, you all were just so trusting and open to allow me to introduce you to another way to actually experience the truth of who you are and to really surrender, if you will, your knowing to a greater knowing and really get the evidence and get the experience of coming out on the other side of that good work we did, more conscious, more woke, as they say. It was just really amazing. You were just so great. I mean, you just really totally embraced it in a way that surprised me because I thought, okay, Carmen, maybe, I don't know, she one of them church ladies. I don't know, like this is going to be in conflict. You'd be thinking I'm doing some kind of voodoo here, but you just really, like, it just worked for you. You just got it. And I think too, over the years, as you know how I work, on my job, I'm not looking for followers. I don't want anybody to be me. I don't want anybody to do what I do. It ain't about that. It's like, here, I'm going to offer you, and especially for us as African Americans, as Black people, I'm going to offer you something from Africa that almost got lost to us. Almost got lost to us. But this is our medicine. This is from West Africa. This is from our tribe. And to be able to use something that people for thousands of years use to keep themselves in balance, to keep themselves whole, to keep themselves loving and working in community, right? Caring about each other. To be able to get access to that, it's just like amazing. And you talk about when God takes over your life, that's how I got access to that. God totally took over my life. And I couldn't have made that up. I couldn't have made that up. All I knew is I wanted something more as a human services professional. I knew that bricks and mortar, feeding people, clothing people, giving access to education, it wasn't enough because I saw people were still suffering. They were still hurting. They were still hurting each other. Right. And it was that African spirit medicine that has really made a difference for me. Wow.
Yeah. It is just amazing. I'm so grateful that, that Terry just had the leadership capacity and the trust because it was so cutting edge. It was so innovative. And to this day, that is still the most. I'm a true entrepreneur. First of all, let me say that I cannot fit in any type of employee box. Anytime that I'm doing that, I'm totally out of alignment and I'm doing it out of necessity. But can I just tell you that was the only employment situation that I felt like I could do forever because it was so in alignment with my core of really being a vehicle to help people transform and just taking the strategies and the tips and working with Benny and James and all of those amazing
Floyd.
Oh my goodness, Floyd and it was just amazing work. And I feel like regardless if it's in the warehouse or if it's in human services, if we could get our leaders of these companies or these organizations to see how people are not disposable, right? And if you build the people, they will help build your business. And right now in our country, it just is not able to put people before profit.
Yeah. And and I'm glad you said that because we're going to wind it up here, take another 5 minutes to do our closing remarks. But I think that's such a powerful message. And one of the reasons, too, that I wanted to do this series with you is to really, really help people wake up more to the fact that the money can't save you. The money is supposed to work for you. And I am a shamanic entrepreneur, right? Which that means that I don't run my business like a business. What does that mean? That means that I see God as my source. It's not the bank. It's not the credit cards. It's not my clients. I never make my clients responsible for how I'm going to eat and sleep and my overhead and my well-being. No, that's between me and my God. And so as a result of that, there are times when my money flow is really pretty slow. but I'm always eating. I'm always got a place to sleep. I always got a car to drive. It's just like, it's always there. Right. And so, I'm like, okay, here comes COVID. And the first thing I think about is I want to make a contribution to especially the Milwaukee community when I heard that it was a Black community being decimated by the virus. And of course, that makes sense if you understand, again, systemically how poverty works and economic challenges work. And when you got people all closed in together, running around transferring their pain on each other, they definitely going to be transferring the virus. And so I just opened up to God, I want to be of service. And I can tell you, Carmen, that I did not expect to receive any income from the service that I've been doing to organizations and individuals during this time. And I have more money flow coming now than I've ever had since I have been doing my work professionally as a shamanic healer.
Amazing.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. And I'm not advertising. It's not right. I'm not doing any advertising. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just like, how can I serve? How can I serve?
I love
and the money works for me. I don't work for the money. The money works for me. It's just a tool. It's just a tool. Exactly.
It's a tool. It has definitely been. I've experienced nothing but growth in my business. It is amazing how this became a time. I call it a season of separation.
Yeah.
More and more through my business, people, the coaches I work with, the business partners I have within my travel business, the people that were supposed to be there and seeing the vision, they really, really was able to stick and stay during this time. Normally, I would be at the point where I want to chase behind people and try to convince them, hey, this is a good deal. Like, you really need to take advantage of this opportunity now. I'm so at peace. I'm so trusting God that whoever I'm supposed to partner with is who I'm supposed to partner with. It don't mean that they're any worse or any better. It just means this is not a good time for them. And my prayers, God, send me to people that we can really build, purpose together. We can build an effective, solid business together, and we can really make a difference in our family lives and the community. And now that I've had this time to really sit with that and not just reach for the low-hanging fruit, because sometimes we just reach for the low-hanging fruit instead of people that we really should be in partnership with. It has been nothing but growth. And that, again, is us getting out of our own way and trusting that people know what's best for them, right?
Right. Definitely. So, Carmen, if people have some questions that they'd like to get to you, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, if you're on Jojopah's live because you're connected to her, inbox her. She knows how to get you in contact with me. And then also, I'm on Facebook, Carmen Ray. My company is Be Well for Women. We're all about supporting the journey of women entrepreneurs, however that looks, regardless if you're a startup, if you're a mid-sized business, or if you're already highly successful and you're looking for a community that really stands on 3 pillars. This is how Be Well came up. We want people to be well connected, not superficially connected. We don't do the whole business card thing, but we want you to be well connected. We want you to understand the person behind the work, okay? The person behind the work or service. So the first pillar is we want you to be well connected. And then we want you to be well inspired, because sometimes we sit and we just take information, YouTube, everything. We can just go, we get our PhD, we get all of this information in our head, but we do nothing with it. We are able to be well informed, but we're not taking action. We're not executing executing anything. So we do want you to be well informed, but our third pillar is to be well inspired. So you can move through inspired action, and that's what Be Well is all about. We hold virtual community conversations, and we also have retreats here in the Arizona area and in the Milwaukee area. But of course, because of COVID, we're not planning to get back together again until
physically.
2021. Yeah, physically.
You got to do your online retreat.
Yes. And we do have an online conference coming up September 12th.
Wonderful.
Jojopah, thank you so much for allowing me just to share. I appreciate you. Always
definitely
being there for the Be Well community. Jojopah has been our spiritual practice coach for many, many years, and we just appreciate her. And she always brings the medicine with her when she comes and shares with our community.
And again, if you're watching this on YouTube, of course, if you have any questions, comments, you can put them in the comments box below. I do pay attention to that and get back as quickly as I can. And also, if you're watching this from Facebook, of course, you can leave comments there and you know how to get a hold of me. I also have a website. It's www.wisdomwalktoselfmastery.com. And Carmen, I hope this recorded so I can give you a copy that you can throw into your website as well.
That'd be awesome.
But thank you so much, girl, for pulling it together on this crazy day after that new moon in Cancer to be here and to share your wisdom and genius. So again, we thank you for listening. And again, we just want to keep encouraging you to know, take a spiritual approach to COVID. This is a time when God has taken over your life to really, really help you move forward in ways you can't imagine.
Yes, Jojopah. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to joining you guys again. We are going to organize this as an ongoing series because I absolutely appreciate sharing the space with you, Jojopah. Thank you for sharing your audience also. I don't take that lightly.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Carmen. Love you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.